Rich, velvety cheesecake combined with ultra-sweet blueberry mousse makes for one of the most delectable desserts you will ever try. This blueberry mousse cheesecake is a delicious and elegant dessert and perfect for spring and summer. It's incredibly light and almost completely no-bake. The only thing that requires a few minutes in the oven is the sponge cake. Follow my easy steps and you too can master this beautiful blueberry mousse cheesecake. The sponge chocolate cake is our first step, which will serve as the base of this cake. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Take 3 eggs and separate the egg whites from the egg yolks and place them in 2 separate bowls. Add a 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of salt to the egg whites and a 1/4 cup of sugar to your egg yolks, and beat them at a high speed until it doubles in volume and becomes very light in color. The egg whites will get soft peaks, and the egg yolks will have a very fluffy light vanilla color. Now take a 1/2 cup of room temperature water and combine it with your egg yolks mixture. Turn your standing mixer to the stirring setting and pour your mixture slowly to your egg whites. If you don't have a standing mixer, absolutely no worries. You can simply mix with a spatula and get the same results. No need to beat or overmix, just combine the ingredients. In a sifter, add 1/2 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Use a spatula and gently fold everything together, combining the flour with your eggs mixture. Look for any streaks or any hidden pockets of flour. Your batter is ready. Pour your batter onto your 9-inch round baking pan that's been lined with parchment paper. Use every drop of this batter. This is going in a 350 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven in the center rack for 25 to 30 minutes. Step number 2, the chocolate blueberry mousse layer. Wash 3 cups of blueberries and transfer them to a saucepan. Add 1/2 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Turn the heat to medium-low and stir until the sugar melts and the blueberries burst. Roughly 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in a small bowl, add a package of gelatin and a 1/4 cup of water. Mix and let it swell for 10 minutes. After cooking your blueberry jam for 10 minutes, take an immersion hand blender and blend your blueberry mixture. Pour the mixture and pass it through a sieve to remove the seeds. Press vigorously. You want to obtain as much seedless jam as possible. Combine the gelatin with the blueberries and mix well until completely dissolved. The gelatin doesn't need to be dissolved over low heat because the blueberry sauce is still pretty hot. This is the perfect consistency we're looking for. Our cake is ready, and you will know it's ready when a toothpick inserted into the center should come out clean. Use a knife to loosen it up from the pan by going around your sides. Transfer your sponge cake to a wire rack to cool completely. Once your sponge cake is at room temperature, place it on a platter. Use a serrated knife and trim the top off. Take a cake ring and firmly slice roughly 1 inch around the edges. You can also do it with a plate and a knife. Remove the excess and use it as a snack. In a separate bowl, add 1½ cup of heavy cream, and with an electric mixer, beat the cream to soft peaks. Now add your blueberry and mix to combine. Oh my goodness, I love this color. Next, line the 9-inch mold or springform pan with acetate sheet and place it on top of the platter with your prepared sponge cake. Pour the blueberry mousse mixture on top of your sponge cake. Use a cake spatula and even out the top. Place it in the freezer for 30 minutes while you're preparing your cheesecake chocolate layer. Use 12 ounces of cream cheese softened at room temperature and beat it well with the hand mixer. Add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract and ½ teaspoon of salt. Place a large bowl over a saucepan with simmering water. Add 1¼ cup of white chocolate and with a spatula mix continuously until your chocolate has melted and the consistency is smooth. Remove your chocolate mixture from the heat. Once it comes at room temperature, combine the white chocolate mixture into the cream cheese and continue mixing until smooth. Set it aside. In a separate bowl, add 1 cup of heavy cream and with an electric mixer, beat the cream to soft peaks. Combine the whipped cream into the chocolate cream cheese and with a spatula mix until smooth. Take the cake out of the freezer and pour the chocolate layer on top. Even it out with a spoon or a spatula. Freeze for another 30 minutes while we're preparing the raspberry jelly layer. Wash 1½ cups of raspberries and transfer them to a saucepan. Add ½ cup of sugar and mix it in. Turn the heat on medium-low and stir until the sugar melts. Roughly 10 minutes. Meanwhile, in a small bowl, add gelatin and ¼ cup of water. Let it swell for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, pour the raspberry mixture and pass it through a sieve to remove the seeds. Add the gelatin to the hot raspberry and mix well until completely dissolved. Take your cake out of the freezer and as soon as the raspberry jelly comes to room temperature, pour it on top. Level it out by gently moving the cake around. Place the cake in the fridge for 6 hours or best overnight. The next day, take your cake out of the fridge and remove the ring and the acetate sheet. Decorate the cake with berries and fresh mint. Now let's slice into it so we can see those beautiful layers. Use the hot knife technique. Take a thin, sharp knife and run it under hot water. Wipe the knife with the clean towel and cut the cheesecake all the way to the bottom and slide the knife out towards you. Repeat the process before each slice to ensure a clean cut each time. This is love from the first bite. That moment when your fork slices through the silky smooth cake like butter, each bite stunningly purple, luxuriously creamy, with an underlying rich blueberry flavor and the raspberry jelly on top. Delicious. The perfect balance of tartness and sweet. The light texture of the blueberry mousse really complements the cheesecake. This blueberry mousse cheesecake will really hit the spot on summer gatherings. Enjoy. See you next time.